Hello, Happy New Year 2010. A lot of people didn't make it, and I guess a lot of people won't make it till 2011, but for the moment, if you're looking at me, you're still here, and hopefully I'm still here. I came across something very interesting today. I was on YouTube, and there was a well, actually I was on something else, but I ran into a lady named Beverly Flaxington, Flaxington. She's in Massachusetts. You can find her website. She's into some sort of consultant work, computer consultant work, or whatever. The main thing is that she essentially took George Bush's advice, I guess. I don't know this for a fact, but she's up in Massachusetts, and she decided that she couldn't afford regular health insurance, so she got herself some catastrophic health insurance, and they go to chiropractors and the like, and they pay their little bills out of pocket, and if something disastrous happens, they'll be covered. I think I mentioned this catastrophic health insurance in other YouTubes, but unfortunately for her, Massachusetts does not recognize this particular catastrophic health insurance company, and so therefore she has to pay $1,500 to those bastards up in Massachusetts, those vultures, those thugs, so that they can have all their perks and retirement benefits. And it was actually on a Newsweek video. I always thought Newsweek was a magazine or something, but anyhow, it was on a video. And if you look her name up on YouTube, you see the whole story. It's totally amazing. I have sent this lady's name to as many conservative talk hosts as I can in the various newspapers in Massachusetts, asking why this Beverly Flaxington has not been in the forefront of this entire mandatory health insurance debate. First of all, the Republicans are rarely talking about mandatory health insurance. They're talking about public option. They're talking about abortion. That's all they seem to care about, not realizing that if the kids are not aborted and they're actually born into this new world, Obama world, with Obamacare, which is health care by gunpoint, these kids will be slaves. These will be the first slaves born in the American society since the Civil War. And I give the lady credit, what she's worried about, that she is able to pay this $1,500 fine up in Massachusetts, get her catastrophic health insurance for her kids and her husband and herself, and but now she's worried that when Obamacare comes in, Obamacare, health care at gunpoint, that they won't even be able to buy that particular piece of health insurance. So I'm getting back to old George Bush, that rotten piece of garbage, George Bush, who basically, I guess he gets his retirement, he's made his money, he's got his payoffs regarding the border and who else, the pharmaceutical companies and the like. Remember when he didn't want the government to negotiate with the pharmaceutical companies as far as the various agencies to get a better deal? They paid him so that they wouldn't have to get a better deal. George Bush was the most disillusioning president that I ever voted for. And, I didn't like Clinton, but I wasn't surprised when he did the things he did. George Bush taught me a great lesson. And this whole health care bill has taught me a great lesson, that the bulk of the Republicans are just playing good cop, and the Democrats are playing bad cop. And they all really have to go, except for those who really have said it like it is. This is not a matter of public option. This is not a matter of abortion, of federally funded abortions. Because one way or the other, they're going to get around that. This is a matter of mandatory health insurance. You get this? Mandatory health insurance. That means that if you don't get the health insurance, you get fined. If you don't pay the fine, you go to jail. And if you don't go to jail willingly, they're going to come and get you. And you could get messed up. You could get shot. Anyhow, if you try to resist, if you hold up in your house, pray to Jesus and the whole thing, and lock your doors, they're going to come busting your doors in, and who knows, you might get shot in the process. So this is wonderful from a man who lied when he ran for office, saying that he was against mandatory health insurance. He said the difference between me and Hillary Clinton is that she's for mandatory health insurance and I'm not. And then you even have this Representative Joe Wilson who called Obama a liar. And now, he's retracted that. You can't call Obama a liar. The guy's a liar. He said he was against mandatory health insurance, and now he's for it. No one's talking about his lie. They might be talking about the fines and all that, but they're not talking about the fact that the same guy who said he was against it is now going to put me in jail. This is ridiculous. Well, anyhow, getting back to Beverly Flaxington and her husband, this is really interesting. It's promising. I feel sorry for the lady. I know exactly how she feels. And they want to spend their money on healthy living. They want to spend their health care money on healthy living. Does that mean anything to you people who smoke and do drugs and drink and everything else and practice unsafe sex or whatever the heck it is? Does this mean anything to you guys at all? Probably not. But anyhow, there's certain people who try to take care of themselves. And yet it is very sad when someone who truly tries to take care of themselves through no fault of their own gets sick. And these kids, a lot of these kids are innocent victims because their parents are feeding them junk food. They're feeding them all kinds of artificial colors and artificial flavors. They're giving them hot dogs and all kinds of things with nitrates in it and all kinds of high sugar foods. And then these kids grow up and they get diabetes and leukemia and the like. I feel sorry for those kids because the parents had no idea what they're doing. And then they spray their house with all kinds of bug sprays and stuff. In any event, they say about 70% of our ills are self-inflicted, and the government's making no attempt. This is big bucks, folks. So when you get sick, you're really doing the pharmaceutical companies, a good service. You're doing the hospitals a good service. You really are helping everybody out except yourself. And yes, there are poor people who get sick for no fault of themselves, and I feel sorry for them, and we should help those people. But then again, you have the people in the nuclear navy that are coming down with all kinds of thyroid cancer and stuff. Anyhow, getting back on topic here, I really think that you might want to look at that video on YouTube by Beverly Flaxington. Look it up and watch it, and send it out to everybody you know, because this is what this whole thing's about. Once again, Happy New Year, happy 2010. It's going to be hard to change my checks from 2009, but I'll try to remember. And let's hope everybody actually sees what's going on and spends less time watching all these dumb sports shows and stuff, and more time listening to talk radio. Take care.